Hoopla, warriors. Today is a good day for bread and cheese, which I already had. I've been having a craving for like a French baguette with some Spanish cheese, so I ate that yesterday and today, the whole baguette, and a lot of cheese. And that is really for my brain to support its healing, because as you saw in the title, that I had a little incident last Saturday, which is why I did not stream. I woke up in the morning, and as you know, I have a circulation heart dysautonomia problem. And so about 2 minutes after waking up, I fainted, and I hit my head on the floor. And I woke up a few minutes later, and I called out to my roommate. Luckily, she heard me. I was worried she wouldn't hear me because she was still asleep and in the other room. But she did hear me, and she helped me back to my bed. Yes, I had some Spanish cheese. It was just from Safeway, though. And so, some manchego, mostly. And then and then I rested. So when I hit my head, I also injured my neck, like my cervical spine. It was really bad the first 2 days. Like I couldn't walk. I couldn't like lift myself up. I couldn't hold my head up. It even hurt when I swallowed, which is weird. I mean, I guess when you swallow and your hyoid bone moves your larynx up and down, I guess that moves your cervical spine a little bit. Never really thought about it before. And so then later I went to the doctor and they were like, yeah, you had a concussion. So they wanted me on bed rest for 2 days. And they said, go in the room and make it dark and they said minimal stimulation, try not to even do screens if you can. Second day I did 0 screens. First day I did a little screen, but I turned the brightness as low as possible and I turned the volume way down and put captions on instead. The main thing that seemed problematic to me was movement. Yesterday was the first day I was able to actually like walk around, so that was good. The amount of walking I did, which was across the street for a baguette and back, was about all I could handle. So they want me to gradually increase and get back to my normal activity, which sucks because my New Year's resolution was to like get my zone minutes every week, which is like what my Fitbit calls like getting cardiovascular exercise, and it tracks the minutes I get over a certain amount, over a certain beats per minute. And I was doing super good with that. And I was getting it. I've been super on track. And now all of a sudden that's completely out the window because I can't walk around. So it's pissing me off. So yeah, my headache's mostly gone, which is nice. My neck still hurts. My head still hurts if I move around too much and I get lightheaded. My neck still hurts quite a bit if I bend it backwards or forwards or to the right. So that's great. But they said once my neck is better enough to be able to turn it, then I can drive again, so that'll be good. Because driving is very important to me because of eating. I cannot get the delicious foods that I want if I cannot drive to them. Because delivery is ridiculous, and like 90% of the places I want to go to don't offer delivery to my place. I also had to take the week unpaid, which really sucked. Because I was out of time off because of like having the flu back in November. And so they were like, okay, because my doctor didn't want me to work all week. Thankfully, I'm off of work. I have a scheduled break from work next week because of like we follow the school district schedule. So next week is scheduled week off. So this week off, I had to take it unpaid, which really sucks. That means that's going to be a ginormous hit out of my paycheck. So I am not happy about that, and I think it's kind of bullshit that I had to take a week off because of a brain injury. So that's pretty shitty. I do have some food in the fridge, Joshua. I'm actually pretty low. I am due for I usually do a monthly Winco trip when I get like all my main stuff. So I do have still mostly what I have left. Almost nothing in the fridge besides soy milk, but I do have a lot of grains. I'm always thoroughly stocked on grains and beans, so it's probably what I'm going to be eating now. Yeah, they made me take it unpaid. They were like, you go on a leave of absence. Well, and I was like, well, but this is the only week I'm taking off. And they're like, well, you can go on medical leave. And I'm like, okay, again, that seems a little excessive for a concussion and 1 week off. And they're like, okay, you just don't get it paid. And I was like, great. That's fantastic. So that's really shitty. Another reason I got the bread and cheese is that's a relatively cheap treat for myself, because I save the weekends for my, you know, my treats. During the week, though, my sister did send me some money on Venmo, so I got myself... Oh, yeah, I got my roommate went across the street from me, like, literally across the street, there's this place, and they have, they had a peanut butter milkshake. So that's what I got as my treat that day, so that was nice, because I was just in bed all day. I agree, unpaid days off for a medical reason, like, I have a doctor's note and everything. Like, my doctor did not want me. They were like, especially with the job that you have, where it's not like I'm doing a desk job where I could, like, keep the lights off. And, I mean, still being on the screen wouldn't be great for a concussion, but, you know, I work with babies and toddlers. Joshua, unfortunately, I do not mostly eat out when I'm hungry. I just have a problem. I wish that was why, because I'm pretty good at keeping myself stocked, at least on basics, but I just have an eating out problem. So yeah, it was really shitty. I agree. Unpaid for medically required. Like, the doctor did not want me going back at all. I mean, I couldn't even drive, for one thing. And in my job, I have to drive because I'm going not just to the office, but from house to house for in-home therapy for the kids. And then also because, like, kids are screaming and, you know, running all around, and, you know, I have to carry them, and, like, it's a high energy job, I guess. So it was really a bummer, though, because on Friday was Valentine's Day, so I was gonna do a special treat for the kids, and I have my own little co-op for the parents and children on Fridays, and I love doing it. 3 of my kids, it was their last day, and so I missed their last day, and I'm so bummed out. I was really disappointed, but Friday was the first day I could even walk around, so it wasn't reasonable to go in. So yeah, that was my first time ever having a concussion, unless I did hit my head really hard when I was somewhere around 10 to 12 months old. Obviously, I don't remember it. Probably did have a concussion then, because I fractured my skull. Well, no, I didn't fracture my skull. I cracked my head open, is what my parents always said. So I had to get stitches. I probably had a concussion, but obviously I don't remember. So I've fainted several times in my life, but that was the first time actually hitting my head when I fainted, I think. One of the first times I ever fainted, I was 8 years old, and I was at a birthday party. It was an overnight birthday party, and I fainted, and then I wake up, and I skinned my knee, and nobody really told me anything. They were just like, yeah, you fainted. So I don't know if I hit my head. They didn't call my mom. My mom came for me the next day, and then I was like, Mom, I fainted, and she was like, what the hell? Because the mom hadn't called her or anything, and it's like, that's kind of a big deal for an 8-year-old to be fainting. So yeah, that was like what number fainting was that? Probably like my 7th time fainting, maybe. So that's once every 2 years. Just kidding, I'm not 14. I should have gone with 3. Should have said once every 3 years. That would be better. 4 years. We'll stick with once every 4 years. That sounds good. So yeah, I'm doing better. Definitely wasn't going to stream on Saturday or Sunday because I couldn't even sit up. That was shitty. My cat has been with me nonstop. Little Mimi has been in my lap 24/7 except to eat. Well, not in my lap. She was in, I was laying down most of the time. She's usually on my legs, like while I'm laying down. So little nurse Mimi took really good care of me. So yeah. Doing better now, which is good. Did not expect to have to take a whole week off. So that sucks. But now I'm back, and I get next week off, which I guess is nice. I mean, I was looking forward to it, but now it's just not quite the same. Yeah, I think Mimi was concerned. She was like, go to the doctor, mother. And she took really good care of me. So yeah, I might stream some next week while I'm off. Been really into my Echoes of the Plum Grove game. Crushing it. So yeah, might do that. Usually on my week-long breaks, I like to like go downtown and get some special stuff, you know, like, because I don't usually go downtown, but I would like go, and I'd like go to all the places I don't usually go, but now I'm thinking maybe not, because I shouldn't be spending any extra money. So probably not. So that sucks. But at least I'm better. And my skull wasn't fractured. That was good. What actually, so at first I didn't go to the doctor because I didn't think it was a concussion because I'd never had a concussion. And so I just always imagined concussions being like a little bit worse. Oh, campus? No, in an apartment. It's expensive here. And I'd rather not live in a studio / closet. What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah, so what ended up making me go back to go into the doctor was I sent my sister a picture of my bruise. I texted my sister a picture of my bruise. She texted me back and she's like, "Is that a dent?" And I was like, "Huh?" And I look at the picture and I'm like, "What the hell?" And I go into the bathroom and I did have a dent. But with the doctor, so then I was like, shit, maybe I like have a hairline fracture or something. So that's why I ended up going to the doctor. And then they're like, yeah, you have a concussion. They didn't think it was a fracture or anything though. They said what it is the placement of where the hematoma was. So the hematoma is like the buildup of like the blood in the area. So they said it was because of the location of the hematoma, which was like right half in my frontal bone and half in my temporal bone, or temporal, whichever way you say it. And so they were like, it's right between the fissure, like where the two bones fuse, you know, when you grow up and your skull becomes one. And so they think it was just that line, like showing through the bruise, if that makes sense. So that was a relief because I was thinking, shit, I have a fracture, but I don't. And they said, you almost certainly don't have a brain bleed because you would have been in a lot sooner if you did, because you'd be like dead by now. So not dead. So no brain bleed, or I have an extremely strong brain and I am the next evolution of human, which I've always thought is a possibility. So today I will be continuing my tier list of... Thank you, Istacraft24, for the well wishes and the compliments. I will be continuing my tier list of TNG on to seasons 5 and 6. So it's like we get better and better and better. Then we get to season 7 and we get some really good and some really awful. So it's like we get better and better and better. But I'm going to do season 7 another day. I don't believe in squeezing 3 in. Because I don't want to cut short my description of each episode. That's just wrong. Alright, we've got Darmock. One of the most, if not the most, memeable episodes. Darmock and Jalad at Tanagra. This is a great episode. Oh, that's a good one. I was trying to think of something clever, and that's better than what I came up with. So this is actually seasons 4 and 5. I did 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm on to season 5, which I included Redemption Part 2 as in my last one because I just did the 2 parts. We are living Darmock right now. It's true. So Darmock and Jalad at Tanagra. It's awesome. I think this is the one where they... Isn't season 5 the debut of Picard's new uniform? Isn't this when they switched to the other one? He's got like his admiral, or not admiral, but his like captain's jacket thing, like the leathery kind of one. I'm good, RogSon. I'm much better. Not 100%, but a lot better. Echo. Oh, that's weird. Just a sec. You sure it's not the sound of the dog licking the peanut butter jar? Which is empty, by the way. It's just got essence. Is that better? Second voice? I think you mean the echo? Oh, it was having, from having the stream up on my PC. Okay. That's weird. No, my roommate's not talking. The dog is, licking her peanut butter jar, but that's the only other thing you should be able to hear. Cat's... I don't know where the cat is. It's weird. Where's the cat? She's not in the room. That's pretty weird. Okay. Sorry about that. Thanks for telling me. What was I saying? Darmock and Jalad. Oh, the new uniform. So I think that's when they debut that new uniform. And he's got, like, the weird color one. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Well, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know where the cat is, Otter. Weird. I mean, the door's closed to keep the dog chill. She's chiller when the door's closed, but the cat hates the door closed, so. But usually she bangs on the door, so that's weird. Darmock. I feel like Darmock is like, I don't know, what do you guys think? A or S tier? I mean, I feel like that's A. I feel like it's S tier. My favorite is always Gilgamesh, when he's like indicating he wants Picard to tell him some of his mythology. And he's like, Gilgamesh. So this is the episode where they go down, and this is the children of Darmock. Are they Tamarians? Children of Darmock, right? Isn't that what they call themselves? And they do really funny stuff about this on lower decks. So they go down, and they hadn't encountered the species in a long time. They tried before, it is disastrous, so then they beam them down, and it's this whole thing where they're trying to recreate their mythology by having their leader and Picard fight this beast together, and that will like bridge the gap or whatever. But this species, the children of, is it the children of Tamar? That's right, the Tamarians, children of Tamar. I was confused combining Darmock and Tamar into Darmock. Children of Tamar, the Tamarians. So they speak in metaphor, so basically through memes. So like, I'm trying to think of a good one. Like, Picard, his hand on his face. So like, describe these things. And so eventually Picard figures it out. Then they like talk, but then the guy dies, and they're like, it's very sad. His eyes closed. And it's super funny. It's not supposed to be funny, but it's really funny. Like, in winter. That means he should shut up. So I love it. It's hilarious. And it's great on lower decks. They make fun of it in you know, lower decks kind of way. Next is Ensign Ro, which ranks high for me. I'm an Ensign Ro fan. She's my favorite TNG side character, I think. Because Data's my favorite. I love Worf and Picard, so I would say, yeah, Ro is my favorite TNG side character. She basically is like the basis of what becomes Kira, Major Kira. I think she was like the inspiration for her, where she's like this she's this Bajoran who I don't know, I don't need to worry about spoilers, I guess, but she eventually joins the Maquis, which is they call them terrorist groups, but I don't think that's fair. They're resistance groups, I think, is more fair, because they're being genocided. But anyway, so she definitely, you can tell she's kind of the inspiration for Major Kira too, because just in the premiere, the series premiere of DS9, Kira has that god-awful haircut. It looks so much better on this actress than it did in Kira. She looks ridiculous. So the weird short hair with the headband, they immediately undo that haircut. Freedom Fighter, there you go, James. Yeah, I hate that they call them terrorists. I'm like, that's bullshit. So Ensign Ro is awesome. I don't love the whole Guinan involvement thing. Like, can we just not have Guinan in any episodes? I feel like there's no episode where she's not ridiculous. But Ensign Ro is awesome. She has such a great backstory. It introduces the whole Bajoran thing with the Bajoran and the Cardassian, the Cardassian occupation of Bajor. And you can tell they still hadn't fleshed everything out in this episode. Yeah, Riker was a jerk in this episode. Sometimes it's like, fuck you, Riker. He's like, like when she's wearing her Bajoran earring, which is like the most important symbol of her culture, basically, and he's like, we have to follow uniform rules on this ship, and it's like, fuck you, you racist. Anyway, yeah, they call them Bajorans, but in this episode, they refer to them also as the Bajora. So there's a couple times, so they hadn't quite figured out a few things, I think, yet. Like the one guy's like, it was not the Bajora. Oh, and this is one of those episodes where the Admiral's evil. So 9 out of 10 Admiral included episodes, they're evil. Yeah, I know, that's why I'm like, come on, Riker, you should know better. Like, what about later on it's established that Riker's got a bit of a sketchy record. Sorry, taking a sip of my tea. So, it's bullshit. Riker pisses me off with his tude. So, I don't know, Ensign Ro... I'm putting this S tier because it introduces the whole... the Cardassia Bajor thing, and introduces Ensign Ro, Bajora's Mask. So it's really an important episode. Wait, you have a character? Oh, nice. Oh, cool. Yeah, I love the Bajoran stuff. The Bajorans, I think, are like one of their most well-developed, besides like Klingon and I guess Vulcan. They're like one of their most well-developed species on Star Trek, and I really enjoy that about that. Like, they got their religion and like their even their food and stuff, and I like it. Silicon Avatar this episode makes me cry every time. It is so sad, so sad. So Lore is the one who made the colony. Who remembers the name of the colony where Data comes from? Can't remember. But their colony was destroyed by the crystalline entity who was led there by Data. Oh, the beginning of this episode's funny because they're on a planet, excuse me, that they're creating a colony on there. And Carmen is there. Carmen, who later plays... What's-her-face, who's a Vidian that falls in love with the Doctor on Voyager. But yeah, Riker's helping them out with this colony, and they're flirting, and she's like... It's so funny, because she's like, how about dinner in my tent? And he's like, ah, yes, I'll bring the wine. And she's like, and as you know, I provide the most memorable desserts. As you know, has he done her before? And then he's like, my favorite part of dinner. It's like, actually, dessert's not part of dinner, it's separate. Also, that's really weak flirting, but I guess it works for him pretty damn well. And then she gets killed. And he's like very sad because he didn't get to do her first. And then, yeah, so anyway, the crystalline entity comes and destroys the colony, and the crystalline entity basically like sucks up everything. They hide in a cave, him and Data and the colonists, and the rest of them survive. So then the scientist comes to be like, how the hell did you survive in that cave? You're the first survivors ever, basically. And she's this woman who's like dedicated her life to studying this crystalline entity. And she's really bitchy to Data because Data is Lore's brother, and so she's like, how do I know I can trust you? But then later she forms a close bond with Data because it turns out her son lived at the colony where Data comes from, and he was killed by the crystalline entity. She wasn't there because she was off doing science. She was a neglectful mother who left him with some friends to be raised, I guess. And it's super sad. She finds out that Data has some of the memories of the colony. Like, he's got her son's journals in his memory because Dr. I was gonna say Dr. Wei-Yun. Dr. Tsung programmed him to have that. It's super sad because then she's like, Data, can you talk to me in his voice and read his journal? And it's like the saddest fucking thing. And then in the end, they figure out how to communicate. She and Data figure out how to communicate with the crystalline entity. So they bring it here, and it's like amazing. They're figuring out through like vibrations how to communicate it with it, and it's incredible. All of a sudden something goes wrong, and the crystalline entity is like obviously not enjoying the vibration. And then I love how Troy's like, I don't think he likes what we're doing. It's like, oh really? How'd you sense that, Troy? And they're like, okay, Doctor, stop what you're doing. Doctor? And you see her, and she's just got like a crazy face. And she like locks everybody out of the controls, and then the crystalline entity is destroyed through like the resonant frequency that just shatters it. And then they're like, oh my god. And then she's like, it will never hurt anyone again. And it's super sad, because like, it's sad that she killed the crystalline entity in one way, because it's just a creature, and they were potentially going to be able to communicate with it and like solve the issue, right? And like this incredible first of its kind like communication. And then Data's like, can I, escort her to... Picard's like, Worf, escort her to her chambers. Or, not her chambers, but you know what I mean. And Data's like, how about I do it, Captain? And then she's like, oh my god, I'm gonna cry just talking about it. It's just like the saddest fucking scene. And the actress who plays the mom is really good. Because she goes and they get to their quarters. And she's like totally delusional, because she's like all super happy. And then she's like, Data, talk to me in his voice. Tell me that you're proud, that you're happy of what I did, because I did it for you, because I love you so much. And she's talking to him as his son, and as her son, I mean. And then Data's like, it's super sad because like Data, it has no emotion, so like what he says is like cold as hell, but he's not trying to be. But he's like, I don't have any memories or like records of your son that indicates that he would be glad happy about what you've done. He was very proud of your career as a prominent scientist. I think he'd be really sad right now. And then her face just like falls, and she's like dead inside. It's like the saddest. It's gotta be one of the saddest episodes and scenes in all of TNG. Because like this woman is just like, she's just gone insane from like the loss of her son. I'm gonna put it in A tier. That's B, my B. A tier. Wait, oh yeah, and Ensign Ro was supposed to go in S tier. Right? What did I say? Help me out, guys. I thought I meant to put Ensign Ro in S tier. So yeah, that was super sad, because the actress was good. She did a really good job. Disaster is a hilarious episode. I'm pretty sure they referenced it on Lower Decks at one point. Like what's that sound? That was weird. At Lower Decks at one point when they have the bird therapist. take over. So this episode's really funny, where there's this disaster where is it a quantum filament is what they encounter? And it causes like this problem. Oh, Picard is off meeting the winners of the science fair. These 3 kids of 3 different ages. The little girl always has reminded me of my cousin, and I don't know why, but she just always has. And so he's gonna take them to like tour some stuff, and you know Picard's super awkward with kids. But then the disaster hits while he's on the turbo lift with them, and Picard's... Is it his ankle that gets broken? He's kind of a pussy about it. Excuse me. And then the only people on the bridge, the bridge officer during the disaster gets killed. So then on the bridge, we end up with Troy, O'Brien, who's a non-comm officer, and Ro, who's an ensign. So the highest ranking officer on the bridge is Counselor Troy, whose rank is symbolic. She's a lieutenant commander, but it's symbolic. She has no training. So then O'Brien's like, yeah, so she's in charge. And Ensign Ro is like, what? And so she's in charge, and it's so hilarious because I'm like, are you seriously telling me there's no policy in place that avoids something like this? Because that's ridiculous. So it's so funny because then like O'Brien's trying to explain to Troy like what happened, like what, because I think it was a quantum filament, I don't remember. He's explaining to her and he's like, it happened, this thing, and she's like a cosmic string. And he goes, no, that's a completely different phenomenon. So like she has no fucking idea what to do, and she's butting heads with Ro because Ro's basically like, you're a moron. Oh, and then in 10 Forward is where Riker and Worf and Keiko O'Brien are. And Keiko O'Brien goes into labor, and Worf has to deliver her, which is hilarious. It's so good. Which is very much the reason I wish they had kept Jadzia Dax and had her have a baby. It would have been hilarious. But yeah, it's really funny. He's like, you may begin labor now. And she's like, what do you think I've been doing? And, yeah, see, exactly, James. It's like, her rank is symbolic. That counts for nothing. So she, it's so funny because then, like, Worf is like, you know, I've only delivered a baby on, like, the holodeck or whatever, like, a simulation. He's like, it was much more orderly. And so it's really funny. Little Molly O'Brien is born. Yeah, Ro should absolutely have been in charge, and that's why Ro is pretty harsh with Troy, because she's like, you're a moron, you don't know shit. And O'Brien would have been great too. Like, he's a non-comm officer, but he has the experience. So it's pretty ridiculous. It's definitely one of those, you know, it reminds me of the episode, what's it called, from season 1, where they send all of the highest ranking officers down on the away mission, and it's like, what? But I would give it, I feel like a B tier. It's a solid episode. It's not great, but it's solid and it makes me laugh. But yeah, her rank is real, but it's like symbolic. She didn't earn the rank through going through like the Starfleet training. She doesn't know anything about like the systems and stuff. Okay. Oh god, the game. The game. So a couple of problems with the game. One, it starts out with creepy Riker having sex with the species that... Okay. I swear to god they call this species the, shoot. What is... Ensign Wildman's husband that she has Naomi with is a... Help me out, guys. What's it called? Yes, exactly, James. It's different. Katarian, thank you. I swear they say these are Katarians. Maybe I'm misremembering. Because they don't look the same. And they have the goat eyes and stuff. But anyway. So Riker's having sex with her, and then she's like, hey, try this weird orgasm game. And it's like he puts on the glasses, and then you, with your mind, you make the things go into the goals, and then it seems to give you like a little orgasm or something. It's very creepy. And then so Riker brings it back to the ship, and it turns out it's actually like brainwashes you, basically. Mind control, sort of. And then it's got Wesley's on vacation, and he's messing around with Naomi Judd. Is that no, Ashley Judd. Ashley Judd is the actress who plays she's in 2 episodes, I think. Ensign... Lost it. Anyway, she's a weirdo. And Wesley's all into her. He totally friend zones her in the end, though. He's, like, fooling around with her and stuff, but then right when he's going back to the academy, he's like, you know, distance can't keep good friends apart. It's like, oh, friends, huh, Wesley? Do you usually have sex with your friends, Wesley? But he wants to keep his options open at the academy. He doesn't want her to think there's anything serious going on. But anyway, Wesley and her are like, this game is so weird, right? Yes, Robin Luffler, there you go. So weird. And then they start looking into it, and data was deactivated or turned off by the doctor because of the brainwashing. Because the Katarians basically use this to take over crews and groups and stuff. And so, like, Wesley and Robin are fighting against it, and then they try to fix Data, because Data's the only one who's impervious to it. Then in the end, they're, like, holding Wesley down in the captain's chair. And they force him in the glasses, and he's like, no, I won't do it. But then Data saves the day, because Data's the GOAT. And yeah, I'm gonna give this... one of the worst scenes is when I'm gonna give the C tier, finish my statement. Worst is when you encounter Nurse Ogawa on the elevator, and she's like, what level are you on? And it's like, ugh. Yeah, the teenagers. I know, it is a ridiculous episode. But at least it's before Wesley becomes a total dick. Like, he was already annoying, but then his final episode, you just want to punch him in the face. Unification. Do believe this is a two-parter, though it's not labeled as such here. Unification, so... Spock has gone missing, and they're like, we think that he, oh god, what's the word? He, defected to, Romulans, which is like, seriously, you think that about Spock? That's ridiculous. But, so then, like, Picard goes to see Sarek, who's in the last stages of dementia, and it's super depressing. So then... Picard and Data... Me? I've seen every episode probably at least 10 times. Are you talking about me or James? Because I think we're both, there. And then, Picard and Picard and Data go to find him. And they both get, god damn. The face changes. The face changes. Yeah, did I not say Sarek? I said Sarek. Sarek. They get his face... They face changed. I can't think of the correct words right now. Give me a break, though, guys. I had a concussion. James, you shouldn't be correcting me. You should be calling 911. Just kidding. I'm okay. And then they go... And they do a really shit job of going undercover. They, like, are pretty obvious standouts. And then they find out... No, of course Spock didn't defect. That's a ridiculous suggestion. He was there trying to work with, like, secret underground movements for reunification of, Vulcan and, Romulus. And it's funny because there's this one little Vulcan in there. Romulan. Who... He plays the boy in DS9, who's the Cardassian orphan, who turns out not to actually be an orphan. Same actor. But yeah, then they get caught, obviously. But the big deal here is... Guess who the Romulan behind it all is? Yes, that's right. It's Tasha. Actually, this isn't the first time. They show Tasha in... Damn it. It's not Tasha, it's... Ishara? No, that's her sister. What's her daughter's name? Anyway, this isn't the first time. Damn it. The first time they showed her was in the Klingons... Was in, Klingon Civil War one. The, Fuck, what's it called? I'm looking for it. Where is it? That's pissing me off. We cannot continue. Redemption, right? Redemption is... That's when they first show her. Sela, thank you. Not Ishara. Sela, yes. Sela, who is played by Denise Crosby and is ridiculous. But yeah, so she's there. And yeah, it's not my favorite. It's kind of bleh. for me. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm not a TOS fan, so like seeing Spock was... Well, it's not that I'm not a fan, it's just I've never watched it. So it wasn't as big of a deal to me to see Spock. But in the end, Spock and Picard mind meld so he can share Sarek's memories with Spock, because Spock dies at some point during those 2 episodes. So it's okay. I'll give it a B tier. I know that's probably sacrilege to TOS fans. I just kind of find it, I don't know. I never particularly like it. It's a little boring. I know, I'm sorry, James. A Matter of Time. Oh, this one's interesting. So in A Matter of Time, I have heard... So in A Matter of Time, this guy comes from the future, and he claims to be a historian studying the, what is it, the 2360s they're in? He claims to be studying that, and but I have read that the historian was actually originally supposed to be played by Robin Williams. No, Spock didn't die. I meant to say Sarek. Did I say Spock? Sarek died. Oh, damn. Thank you, James. Sarek died. That's why Spock and Picard mind meld, so he can share Sarek's memories with Spock and connect them that way. Thank you. Spock did not die. So yeah, I've read the historian was supposed to originally be played by Robin Williams, which would have been awesome. Has anyone else heard that? Yeah, this is a different guy that I think he was kind of a thing in the 90s, maybe. I vaguely recognize him. But it would have been really awesome if he was played by Robin Williams. So his thing is he's going around to the crew and he's interviewing them because he wants to learn about their time as a historian, which doesn't make a ton of sense to me because I would love to be a time-traveling historian. That would be awesome. But I wouldn't tell people I was from the future. I would just pretend to be one of them. Like, otherwise your data is not as good. Ha, data. Anyway, so he's like interviewing them. Counselor Troy doesn't trust him or like him. Dr. Crusher's like vaguely into him. So, yeah, and then in the end, it turns out he was lying. He was not a historian from the future. He's just some crook from the past. And there was a real time-traveling historian who he stole the ship from. And he was trying to steal artifacts. Well, I guess it wouldn't be artifacts. He was trying to steal things from the future, like tricorders and stuff, to take back to the past and make a bunch of money. But they catch him, and they get him, and then the ship disappears because it's on like a timer. Yeah, con man. Clobbered him, yeah. It's clobbering time. So he, the ship gets sent back because I was on like an auto timer, and that guy's stuck. And then Picard's like, welcome to the 24th century. And he's like, fuck. Probably C tier. I think if it had Robin Williams in it, it would have been S tier, because I think he would have been a lot funnier. Plus, he's supposed to have done a lot of, like, improving of lines, and I think it probably would have been just more entertaining. This guy, I kind of want to... It irritates me that Dr. Crusher's kind of into him, because I'm like... I don't know if she's not into him, and it's just that he's into her, and she's, like, keeping at a distance. I don't know, she's weird. Con, clearly you haven't seen that episode of Voyager. That's a whole episode of Voyager. With Ed Begley Jr. Alright, next is... Oh, New Ground is a big deal, guys. This is where Alexander comes back. Because Worf's mother's like, we are too old to be raising a Klingon child. Which, yeah, I don't blame her. Plus, poor poor Alexander, he's kind of got some issues. Because he's, you know, his mother died. She, like, literally in front of him. Okay, next time we'll do some Star Wars. I'm not a big Doctor Who fan, but I'm all about Star Wars. And, so his mother died literally right in front of him. She was murdered. And then his father's like, see ya, pal. So, his life's been pretty rough. And he's growing up on Earth with no other Klingon children, which Worf himself has said is really freaking difficult. Yeah, she finished her peanut butter jar, can you tell? Wish I had a backyard, that's where I'd put her now. She'd love it. So anyway, Worf has to take care of Alexander now. Things aren't going great, because Alexander is doing normal things. What are you calling Space Harry Potter? Oh, I thought you were calling Star Wars Space Harry Potter, and I was like, You're kicked out of the chat, James. No, you mean you're calling Alexander Space Harry Potter? Is that what you're saying? Who are you calling Space Harry Potter? Doctor Who? Oh, the Doctor, I should say. He's not Doctor Who. Anyway. You're not talking about Star Wars, James. Right? We need this established. So yeah, Alexander's dealing with his issues and kind of how you'd expect a kid to. He's like lying and stealing, which not normal behaviors, but they're normal if you've gone through some serious trauma and nobody's helped you deal with it. But Worf's not super fatherly. So then he's like, that's it. Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you. My bad. I'm just messing with you, James. Sorry. And then so, oh, thanks, David. Is it Beckstrom? Is that how you say it? I'm sorry, I'm getting, starting to get tired now. I'm gonna maximize my energy for the day. Hit my max, I mean. Oh yeah, so then... Oh shit. My brain. It's, this is the most talking I've done in a week. Worf is gonna send Alexander to the Klingon planet to, like, go to school there because he thinks he needs more oh my god. Whew, okay, I might only do one season today, guys. He thinks he needs more discipline, but what he really needs is more nurturing, obviously. And then Alexander almost dies in an accidental, fire. And I'm really proud of Alexander because he makes sure that Riker saves the Gilly... What are they? Giddy... Don't tell me. What are they called? They're an endangered species. And, Gilly... He makes sure that Riker saves him from the fire. God damn. Whew. I'm having a really hard time thinking now. I can't remember what it's called now. I'm okay. Now my chest hurts too. I'm gonna drink some water. Hold on. Yeah, I'm sorry. I might have to do just one season today, guys. Gilly... I swear it's Gilly somethings. Gindi... Gibby... Oh, well. I'll give it some B tier because it's Worf. And I'm losing my energy really rapidly. I think it's partially because my brain, like, I've been on, like, minimum stimulation, too. And so I think, like, going between reading the chat and talking about the stuff and ranking it is, like, maybe too much for me today. Hero worship is they respond to a... Yeah. Maybe I'm a NIKKE from the future who came back to to profit by making songs about my fellow NIKKE. Did you ever think of that? They respond to a... My brain's kind of feeling swirly. I'm gonna try to... I'm still here. Where's the end of this season? I'm trying to get to the end of this season. That's too many more. Okay, I think this is gonna be my last one for today. I'm having a really hard time thinking all of a sudden. They respond to a distress call. And then... This little boy's the only survivor. He says they were attacked. And then he finds out how Data doesn't have any emotions. And he's like, that's good for trauma. So then he starts trying to pretend to be an android just like Data. And then Counselor Troy's like, Data, help him be the best android possible to help him deal with his trauma. And it's a Data episode, so I love Data. Excuse me. Oh, thank you, DM, for your membership. And then, yeah, I'm gonna finish this episode and then I think I gotta go rest. Oh, yeah, so he tries to be exactly like Data. And then, because he can't handle his emotions because he's super traumatized because everybody died except for him. Then in the end, he ends up saving the whole crew because turns out he lied about them being attacked. What he thinks actually happened is that he killed them all because there was the I think I gotta just be done, guys. I'm sorry. I can't maintain a thought. I'll just do the preview of the next. Yeah, I think this is too much for me. I gotta stop. I'm really struggling here. But I'm gonna do the preview of the next tier list before I go.
Yo!
Hello, Marion. What are you doing?
Nothing. Sitting here, rolling some gacha, eating some mushrooms. What's up? What's up?
Who's that?
Yo, pick up the phone. What's up?
What's up?
What's up? You horny? Pick up the phone.
Yo!
What's up? What's up? What's up? So what you doing, King?
Nothing. Just rolling some gacha, eating some mushrooms.
True.
All right, so hopefully most of you guys get that. I don't know if some of the younger ones will, but that is obviously not the main portion of the tier list, just a little snippet from it that's, a little meme. So, yeah, you're probably right, James. So I'm gonna go lay down. But if I'm feeling okay, I'll probably stream during my week off at least once, so keep a lookout for that. And see you Monday for this new tier list. Very long one, as anyone in the Discord will know. Oh, thank you, Sleepy. That's really nice of you. Get some more cheese. It's really good for your brain, right? Thank you so much. I appreciate it, guys. Thanks for being understanding. Bye.